Hi Star family, how you doing? It's your girl Lady Leo. We're gonna dive into the energies together. Be sure to hit the like button so you can dive in with me. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you're a returning Star family, oh my goodness, y'all. I don't know if y'all been feeling these intense energies the way that I have, but it's been crazy. So this is what we got going on. First, we're gonna cleanse and set the space, call in spirit as always. I've got channeled messages here to go over. I also went ahead and pre-pulled one card. We're going to see what that is. I got a couple of decks to go over that. We're going to dive into our astrological forecast. Okay, I've got my little astrological report here that we're going to go over together. And then I was supposed to give y'all a candle, but we may move that over to tomorrow's live stream just because we have so much to cover in this one. After we get done with all of our collective stuff, I'll open it up for Q&A so y'all can ask questions about natal charts and placements and those sorts of things. And then we'll end that stream and start with personal readings. If you're interested in getting a personal reading, it's CashApp, Venmo, PayPal at ladyleospiritual. $11 for a mini, $22 for career, $33 for love, and $44 for extended. First come, first serve. We currently have 2 people in line, Angela and Darlene, okay? All right, y'all, let's go ahead and hop into this. Let's get this sage going. Welcome. How y'all doing? If I can greet everybody. TikTok, y'all come in so fast. Hi, Gatorette. Single Dad, Hannah, Zach, Barbie, Buzz, Lisette, Matt, Kristen, Snack, Capri, LK, KD, Patrick. What's going on, y'all? Welcome. Hi, Instagram. Velvet, Luna, Fabi, S. Ferns, One God, Jane, Araceli, Envy Cutie, Sepulveda, to say I love you, Miss Phoenix. How y'all doing, friends? Hi, Gemini girl. What's going on, y'all? Let me ring the bell for you real quick. Send all that love and light back to you times 10. Thank you for helping me raise the vibration. Okay, let's get going. Y'all, every single night I try to get here earlier than midnight, and it just doesn't happen. But I'm here nonetheless. Welcome. Okay. I don't have my torch. My torch went out on me. So we're using this little bitty Bic lighter. Hey, she may be but little, but she fierce, okay? We're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen. We're going to alchemize the situation. Use what we got. There we go. So here's energy cleansing. Cleanse your energy. Good juju for you. Cleanse my energy. Good juju for me. We're going to protect with some Palo Santo real quick. What's going on, y'all? Welcome. Usually this Palo Santo has been like lighting like crazy. And I know y'all been dealing with a lot of heaviness. Hey, thank you for that. While I'm waiting on this to light, I just want to give y'all a heads up that I'm going to start teaching tarot on TikTok. It'll be for super fans. Protect your energy. Protect my energy. All right. Let's call on spirit. You know we got to do it. Y'all ready? God, source, universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, council of light, ascended masters, and all other benevolent beings of light of the third heaven and higher. I ask that you shield us in a holy divine white light of protection. Shield our space, our energy, and the stream from any outside negative energies, entities, and it is not allowed here. Spirit, I ask that you aid, guide, and support me in sharing the best and highest messages for the collective during this time. So much to be. Thank you, Spirit. All right, y'all, here we go. Whew. So we're going to go ahead and go over this pre-pull that I pulled from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I'm going to read a little bit, so if that bores you, you may want to scroll up, come back in a few minutes. But it's important nonetheless, okay? So if you can sit through it and pays attention, I got you, boo-boo. All right, here we go. Thank you. You like my earrings? Thank you, Bodie. I made those. I'm like one of them DIYers. I ain't the best at it. But I try nonetheless. Okay, here we go. We've got restore and replenish. I feel like this is in perfect alignment with these eclipse energies that we're going to be talking about and some of the other transits. Okay, so this is what it says. You are in need of something so much deeper than rest. You need restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not necessarily come from lying about somewhere, taking a moment out of your day or evening activities. You are more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. You need some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, mind, and heart. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing the usual flow of energy throughout your being. You could stimulate this process by going to a different place, meeting different people, and taking different action to what you would usually do. You can return to your regular routine and time if it feels good for you. However, it is now time to move without pushing yourself beyond what is known, comfortable, and familiar. This oracle also comes as a message from the great loving guardian, which is life itself. You've been working so hard and have accomplished so much already. However, you often sell your accomplishments short and focus on how much more is yet to be done. We just talked about that, I think, in our last live stream. Life is telling you that it is time to put down the paintbrush, the pen, the endless list, and thinking mind, and get into your body. Take the time to experience yourself in and of nature. Remember how to just be. In doing so, page turn, 1 second. Hold that thought. Relatively short amount of time, you will feel more of yourself and ready for the next phase. You might be surprised what just a day or two of this can do for you. Restoration does not have to be a long and involved process, especially if it is attended to while needed. This oracle is also confirmation that you are in an important transition phase between one level of experience and the next. If you feel as though you are treading water or are in sort of purgatory somewhere between your old life and your new life, then this particularly applies to you. If you can't quite break into the level you were reaching for, have faith. You were just taking a breather between races. Soon you will have the power and energy you need to reach for the next level and succeed. If you've been considering a new endeavor or have recently started one, then this oracle brings a message of encouragement. Yes, this is a good step forward for you. You might be worried that you're taking on too much. You are encouraged to take time out to rest and rebalance yourself, but you are supported in your need for new and different experiences to refresh your spirit. You may let some of these new endeavors go once you've gained what you need from them. However, they are useful now. You are encouraged to trust yourself and to know that you are working consciously to meet your own needs, and this is healthy and good. The Oracle of Restore and Replenish also comes with guidance for your healing. If you've been under the weather, you will soon be well again. If you have been working on healing your body, mind, or soul, this Oracle comes with assurance that what you're doing is working and bringing you benefit. Even if you are yet to experience the full extent of that benefit, continue with your work and know that you are indeed healing. Here's the healing process, in case some of y'all want to partake in that. Imagine that you are floating in an ocean that has colors of turquoise to deep green and darkest, deepest blue. Notice what colors feel good. Enter and remain in that space for as long as you like. The water might be warm and sparkling, shallow and heated by the sun, or cool, deep, and mysterious. Allow it to be whatever feels good to you. When you're ready, open your eyes and break that routine of yours. You will have completed your healing process. I feel like that does go perfectly in alignment with what it is that we're feeling with this eclipse energy, okay? Hey, thank y'all for that. Let me ring the bell for you. Let me send all that love and light back to you times 10. Y'all are still here? Usually everybody wants to dip out when I start reading. Thank y'all for being here. Okay, let's pull some cards on this and then we'll get into our forecast, okay? Because I got my whole little... I did my homework, y'all, this time. I got my whole little report right here. We'll go over that in a minute. Okay, Spirit, best and highest messages here. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? Hiya, how you doing? Welcome. That's way too many cards. Spirit's trying to talk. Somebody needs a message. I say, Leo, you late. Where have you been? Okay, Spirit. Let's try that again. Best and highest messages here. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yeah, we are definitely feeling that really heavy with these cycles ending and new ones beginning, right? Especially with this eclipse energy. This eclipse is a big one, you know, and if you've paid attention, if you've been, studying astrology, or if you're new to this, we experience big life changes during eclipse season. You know, things are being eclipsed out and new things being eclipsed in. And this is over decades, okay? So a lot of us are experiencing this in the relationships that we have with self, relationships that we have with others, and relationships that we have with ideas. things, careers, you know, belief systems, those sorts of things, okay? So if you're newer, or maybe you're in the spiritual community and you haven't really been paying attention to so much of the astrology and the transits, maybe this can kind of give you some insight of what it is that you've been feeling on an individual level, and you're even noticing it in the collective, you know? So let's see, let's pull some more. What else is here? Hi, y'all. New moon in Taurus, know your worth. So that's what one of these things that it is that we're coming into, okay? Especially as we're releasing the things that no longer serve us, you know, you do start to pay attention more of your own value and your own worth. You don't have all that extra clutter energetically, spiritually, and even physically to bog you down and to bring conflict to what you know your worth is, you know. What else did we get? Blue moon. Believe in the impossible. This is the perfect time to believe in the impossible. We have these big life changes. And those of you that have been hitting rock bottom, or you felt like you've hit rock bottom, that is the perfect place to be, to build even bigger, even better than you've ever built before. So, as I know it's challenging, and it's very conflicting, and it's rough, and it can be very painful as we're contorted, as we transform, you know, but you can use it as an opportunity to believe in the impossible. Okay, we've taken it all the way down to the bare root of it, you know, to build it back from the ground up, and it can be whatever it is that you want it to be, if you so choose. Give me some more, Spirit. Give me a few more. What else we got going? Hi, how you doing? Welcome. New moon in Leo, shine. This is going to help you shine your light, right? We talk a lot about that here. Okay, you should never be dimming your light for anyone, anything. Okay. So this is going to help you really step into your highest timeline so that you can shine the brightest. And y'all know what I say. If your light ain't entertain nobody's demons, boo-boo, you ain't doing it right. Turn up the heat. Blind their eyes out. They can get their hater shades if it's too much for them. That's their responsibility, okay? What else is here? Don't be afraid to shine in your own authenticity. You are beautiful when you're genuine, right? The most beautiful. And not everybody's going to recognize that. Why? It irritates their own ego. It irritates them in the ways that they can't shine their light. And that doesn't take away from you. You let them deal with that. That's their healing journey. That's their path. That's none of our business, right? Other people's opinions of us are none of our business. That's for them to keep. That's their ish. Give me some more, Spirit. Give me some more. Here's some more Leo energy. Don't let pride get in your way. Yeah, we're not going to let pride get in our way here. Okay, we're not going to be too prideful. Yes, you should take honor and pride in the things that you're doing, but we're not going to let pride overrule us. Okay, it's about finding that balance between it all. First quarter moon in Taurus, it's time for you to release control. That's something else that it is that we've learned on our journeys here, right? Is we actually gain more control as we release the need to control. Especially if you study things like energy transference, the laws of the universe, law of assumption, law of attraction, those sorts of things, law of balance. As you release the need to control, you actually gain more control over what it is that you're trying to bring about, where it is that you're going on your journey. What else is here, Spirit? Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Communication is key. This is how we're going to communicate effectively and directly. Okay, a lot of us have found our voice and we are communicating assertively, right? We're saying no to things that do not align with us. We're not overextending ourselves and being people pleasers, right? We're good people, not nice people. Nice people are liars, right? They're people pleasers. They're not telling the truth. They can't really handle it. They can't even take care of themselves. How are they going to help somebody else take care of what it is they need to take care of? You know, it's a hard pill to swallow. I was a people pleaser. I signed up for too much. I was overextending myself in spaces that had no business overextending myself at, right? So we're not nice people. We're good people. What else? Luna, if you don't... we never know who's going to show up here and make an appearance. So Luna is saying hello. Say hey, Luna. Go on, baby. Go on. I gotta work. I'm trying to focus here. No, you're screwing up the vibe, baby. You gotta go. Come on now. If it's not a kid, it's a cat. That's a nice messages here, Spirit. Anyway, back to this reading. Give me some more, Spirit. Give me some more. Yeah, there's kind of an energy here not to take it so serious, you know? Not that things aren't serious or that they're not important. But sometimes we can get caught up in that, you know? It's okay to smile and have fun with it a little bit. Okay, last quarter moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. Yes, we're paying attention to the details. We'll get into the nitty gritty of it. We're uprooting all the toxins in our garden, right? In the garden that we're cultivating out of our life. The empires that it is that we're building. Somewhere. It'll be the last couple ones and I'll move decks. Hi y'all, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. Yeah, nothing is set in stone. Okay, we can change the course of where it is that we're going at any time. Okay, full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. Oh yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one that it is that we've been doing. Okay, we've been repelling the negativity. People, places, things, ideas, belief systems, ways of being. Okay, and then we have first quarter moon in Scorpio. Release your blocks. And this is what is helping us release those blocks. Okay, because yeah, sometimes blocks come from external things. A lot of times blocks come from self. And then even if you are in energy work and you're working with chakras and those sorts of things, you're doing the shadow work, sometimes there's a big ass planet in the way, you know? There's a transit that's going on, and it may counteract with something that it is that you are in alignment or you're trying to be in alignment with, you know? So it's important to understand those things because it puts the power back in your space. It puts the ball back in your court. When you learn what your placements are in your own chart, instead of the stars ruling you and using it as an excuse, you learn where you can rule the stars, okay? All right, let's pull a couple of these starseed messages. Okay, let's see. I'll go back up on the comments in just a little bit, y'all. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just trying to stay focused. Y'all know I'm neurodivergent. I got ADHD. Yeah, like a squirrel. And this was an important stream. So I wanted to make sure I came prepared. Give me some more, Spirit. Best and highest messages here. The crumbling. Yes. What are you clinging on to? Okay. This is important. This is what it is we've been clinging on to, right? It's dead. It's decayed. It's no bueno. It doesn't serve us anymore. It's rotting. Okay. Look, it may be scary to let it go and let it fall away, but look what's behind that. Okay. This is the promised lands, if you will. Look at all that growth and fertility, abundance, right? There's light at the end of this tunnel here, okay? We don't have to stay here just because it's familiar. Yeah, we know what we're getting with that, and it ain't nothing but a bunch of ish, right? Decay. If we stay here, this is where it is that we rot with it. So there's a need to let go of whatever it is that you feel like you're clinging onto, okay? Pay attention to the light. What else is here, Spirit? Give me some more. Oh, no, y'all, look. We got pick-me's in the chat. We got some ish in the chat over here on TikTok, Instagram. That happens every single time. Goodness gracious. They must be coming in here and saying that astrology is devil work. There's got to be something like that. If that's the case, if the sun has an effect on us, right? It's our life force energy. And the moon has an effect on us, right? It controls our tides and the migration patterns. How do the other star systems not have the planets and star systems not have an effect on us? That don't make no sense, y'all. Don't you be coming up in here at that. Scroll up, exit out, go somewhere else. We don't want it. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew that you were going to overcome every single obstacle thrown in your way, if you knew that you were going to succeed at it, how would you show up? How would that be different for you? That's how it is that you need to show up every single day. You're going to overcome every obstacle. Okay, and those of you that have been going through hardships, God, source, universe, whatever label you want to put on it, whatever it is that you adhere to, okay, gives the toughest battles to the strongest soldiers, right? To the strongest warriors. So whatever it is that you're experiencing, those hardships, of course you're going to overcome it. It was by design, okay? So if you trust your path, if you knew that you would be supported, what would you be doing? What would you be in alignment with? What would your dreams look like? And how ambitious would you be going towards those? Okay, the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Yes, that's exactly what you're doing, okay, or what we're doing as a collective, is we're getting in alignment and we're being dedicated to it. We are devoted, okay? We're making our life a living prayer. Give me some more, Spirit. Give me. Oh, this one came out. I didn't even see this one. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. This is what gave me a passion for reading cards. Is this card right here? The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. That's another thing. Those of you that keep feeling like you hit roadblocks, like you just can't get past that ceiling, you know, you feel like it's just, you keep getting kicked when you've been down. Sometimes we have to experience this because it's spirit coming in and forcing us to make a change, right? It's our spirit screaming at us that we're staying in that comfortable space that no longer serves us, okay? So what it is that it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. Where's the blessing in the lesson, right? Think of it that way. It's about changing your perspective. Okay, give me a few more from this deck, and then we'll pull some tarot. All right. Best and highest messages here. I'll pull a couple more, and then I'll go up on the comments before I start with the tarot. Loosen your grip. Coping mechanism. Destiny, addiction, let God in. Yes, a lot of us, that's exactly what it is that we're doing. You're seeing this collectively all over the world, right? The things that it is that we're seeing on mainstream media, right? Some of the events that have happened, it's really pushing people back into some sort of faith, right? You're seeing this happen all over, just as collectively. We're getting back in touch with our spirituality. We're getting back in touch with that God within us, and we're trying to recognize it in others, okay? There is this huge call to action for us to break down the barriers and the boundaries that keep us separated, and there's a call for unity during this time. You know, I really do feel like we're feeling that very collectively. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah, I was just saying that. That's exactly what we're doing. We're tuning into the portals of our heart, and we're recognizing and the what am I trying to say? I just had it, y'all. I just lost it. The human in others, you know, we're having that compassion, that empathy that it is that we're craving so much during this time. And priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? So priestess, priest, you know, that inner mentor, that inner guide that's in you, the one that's calling you to step up, right? You see something, say something, right? If you can do better, be better. We're leading by example. Especially those of us that understand that it's about the legacy that it is that we're leaving behind. It's about the generations after us. What are we leaving for them, right? That's one Native American proverb that I love is, we're meant to leave this earth, this earthly realm, better than how it was when we found it, because we're actually inheriting it from our future generations, okay? All right, y'all. Let me go back up on the comments. We start over here on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Dahlia, Deb, It's Harsh, Isabel, Native, Ashish, Third Eye. Yeah, you got to see Luna. Hi, Charlene. How you doing, love? Jay McDaniel, Chrissy, Michelle. The vibe on TikTok sometimes. The vibe is on TikTok. TikTok turns it up now. I'm so proud. I just completed my mental health peer work course. Woohoo, it's my dream. That's great, Jane. Let me ring the bell for you, Jane. Congratulations. I'm proud of you too, boo-boo. You better celebrate that win this weekend. I like where there's the blessing in the, yes. Yeah, it's hard to look at it that way sometimes, seeing the blessing in the lesson. But if you can get to that place, it can help. It can give you a little boost, right? Y'all know I talk about like Bear Grylls. I learned a lot from watching Bear Grylls and like survival techniques. And it can help even if it's not like physical survival, right? Our emotional state is important for survival as well. So is our mental state. So if you can psychologically, trick your own brain into doing what you need it to do to help benefit you. One thing that I learned from him is keeping a high morale, So think of it that way. Find the blessing in the lesson. Switching perspective helps your morale, which helps survival. And if you're in that mode, then of course you're going to overcome the obstacles. It sets you up for success. All right, let me go back up on TikTok. How you doing, TikTok? Okay. Dang, y'all got a lot of comments. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your engagement. That helps me to grow. And the more that I grow, the more I can show up here. Hi, Richard. Hi, Peyton. Let's see. Nova says, thanks for the reading. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. All right. Thank y'all for the gifts. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for the follows. Amen. God bless you, ma'am. God bless you as well, sweetheart. Good morning, Kensington. Can I help you read? Wait, read. What do you mean help me read? Hi, Viv. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get sassy. Get your own box. I'm just kidding. Are you a Libra? Nope. I'm a Leo. That's why it's Lady Leo. You repel the devil. You damn right. We repelling the devil up in here. Okay. Is it your earrings? Why is so many lost? It's making me feel lost. I've been studying all that for 20 years. Y'all, sometimes y'all get around like people who are feeling lost. The Debbie Downers, the negative Nancys, those type of people. It's kind of like they have a coal in their cup, right? Nothing will satiate them. It doesn't matter how much time, love, energy, effort, money you pour into them or positivity. They just can't seem to, get with it. A lot of y'all probably have a lot of water in your chart. And water signs are notorious for absorbing other people's energy and mistaking it as their own, especially if you don't know any better yet. It's just one of the spirit. It's like a blessing and a curse at the same time. But it could be part of what it is. So I don't know if you work with crystals or you work with energy work or you understand anything about that. But that's been a big thing that helps me. I have a heavy Pisces placement. I have a Pisces rising. And y'all, I absorb energy. Oh, God. I'm constantly cleansing and I have to really stay up on my spiritual hygiene. But that's a hard lesson that I had to learn just from trial and error. The cross. Yes. You like my background? Thanks. This one's not my main one. I had to move, y'all. If y'all were here before, I had to move back in with my parents. Y'all would have seen my other background. But I'm glad that you like this one. Just to let you know, your beautiful eyes shine like the beautiful brown. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Why is so many lost? Okay, I already read your. You must have put that in there twice. Felicia, should I let Robert go for good? Why are you asking that? Like, what even makes you question that? Melissa, will I find love again? If you're in alignment for it, you will. I shall rule the stars. I'm just here for a vacation. I think a lot of us are just here for a vacation, Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see. How can I cut off feelings of others' feelings? It's a learning process. Okay. It can be really draining, as soon as you learn how to be self-aware or to be understanding of energy and all that. When you first get started, it is not only energetically, it's mentally draining, but you build stamina the more that you work with it. It's like a muscle. It's like a muscle. You get better. Practice makes perfect. Hi, Molly. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Hi, Chosen. How you doing, Chosen? Rami, a rejection is the universe's redirection. That is so true. I'm a big believer in that, too. Rejection is protection. Rejection is redirection. I love that a lot. All right. Without makeup, you're gorgeous. Oh, how do you know what I look like without makeup? Where are you at? I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I appreciate that. Trying to let go and release X, my self-esteem, my walls, all I have is me. I need to take care of. Sometimes that's what we got to do, y'all. Especially when we've been in really toxic relationships, We got to cleanse all that. We got to rebuild our self-esteem, okay? Like if you've been through any type of betrayal, any type of really big hurt, especially whether it comes from self or a connection with somebody else, it can take a hit to our self-confidence and our empowerment. And we need to take some time to rebuild that, almost like a battery, right? You got to recharge that up. And a lot of us don't understand that. when we don't know any better, right? Okay, I think that's most of I'm trying to go up. I don't want to make anybody feel ignored. Kevin says, does my girlfriend really want me? I'm a Scorpio, she's a Leo. That's a powerhouse couple if it's done right. Scorpio and Leo together can be like world domination type of energy if y'all can get your ish together. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna happen. It means there's the potential for it, right? Both of y'all have to like nurture the connection together. If both of y'all aren't doing that, then it's, of course, eventually it's gonna fizzle out. Okay, I think that was everybody. Hi newbies, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Okay, let's pull some tarot on what it is that we got here, and then we'll go over this forecast, okay? Best and highest messages. If you have to ask if you should let somebody go, then you already know the answer inside that you should. I found that out the hard way. Me too, Gemini girl. Me too. Charlene says, glad you're getting settled. Been busy summer. Looking forward to reconnecting with you and the Star fam over the coming months. Thank you so much for being here, Charlene. I miss y'all like crazy. I miss y'all like crazy. Okay. Okay. Best and highest message to your spirit. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear?
You don't need to stop. You just want to.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Y'all, if I have to go, it's because Adonis woke up. All right. Best and highest message to your spirit. How's the collective's energy? Overall energy here for the collective. The Page of Wands. So, being very inspired, limitless potential, new ideas, self-discovery, free-spirited exploration, excitement, and freedom. Braveheart energy, going for it. Excitement. Okay, what else is here? Give me another one. Also, Page of Wands. All right, we're not talking about love reading, okay? We're not talking about little wand energy during this time. I know a lot of y'all hear me. Y'all are here for the love readings or energy readings when we're talking about connections with other people, okay? I'm not talking about little wand energy in this sense, okay? This is more like the beginning stages of being inspired to do something, you know, and that's a very beautiful energy to be in. So y'all don't get it confused if y'all are usually here for the other readings. This is more astrology based. Opportunities. Oh my goodness. Yes, this inspiration is bringing you a lot of choices, options, and opportunities. Wishful thinking. Really getting you thinking, getting into your creativity. That's a beautiful, beautiful place to be. King of Swords. Oh, I love this. Head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, and authority, right? This is where you're becoming the author of your own story, right? Especially when being caught up with people who down you, okay? People who naysay, people who are critical, people who are telling you that you can't, that you won't, you know? This is where you're like, no, you don't get to be the main character in my storybook. I'm the main character of my storybook. That's why it's my story, you know? You're not letting people write the outcomes or to project their thoughts and their beliefs onto you. Give me some more, Spirit. Give me some more. That's where you're calling your power back. Hold up, homie. You ain't writing the script here. I am. Yes, and it's helping you. It's helping put you into this beautiful equal give and take energy as well. Okay, energy exchange. Right? Guarding yourself. You're protecting yourself, okay? So it's kind of like whatever it is that this new cycle, this new phase that is that you're coming into. It's like you've done all this hard work. You've been paying attention to the details. You're omitting the toxins and people, places, and things that aren't here to support you, right? They're here to surround you, but they're not here to support you. Yes, Jesus is King. We know, soldier of God. Thank you. We love Jesus. Is he upset?
No, he's fine.
Okay. Anyway, yes, but this is where you're protecting the work that it is that you put in up to this point, okay? What else is here? you're getting really focused on what it is that you're creating. And that's why it was important for you to omit the toxins and the distractions and the naysayers and the Debbie Downers, the people that are here just to surround you, not necessarily to support you. That's something else that we've been learning over the past couple of months, right? With these transits, the things that have been coming to surface, the things that we've been experiencing in our everyday life individually, is the difference between that. Who's here just to surround you and who's here to support you. And most of the time, most people are here to surround you, you know. They're here just to be up in your Kool-Aid and to be in your business. But this isn't, it's none of their business. They can't get with it and they're not here just to be supportive. They gotta get to step in, you know. Give me a few more. Overall energy here for the collective. Happy memories, familiarity, reminiscing childhood memories, innocence, joy, and nostalgia. This is really big with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Okay, so earlier in the year, Saturn retrograded, but it moved out of Pisces and into Aquarius. Okay, but at the beginning of September, it actually moved back into Pisces. Okay, Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay, Saturn is a very restrictive, oppressive, regulatory type of energy. So we're really honing down on our Pisces, which is illusions. It's the dream state. It's spirituality. It's belief systems in general. You know, so you could have a lot of like childhood stuff or past things that are surfacing here to take a really hard look, and it's being judged. This is where you're critiquing those things. Does it have space here in this new season? Does it have space here? Is it in alignment with the new cycle that it is that I'm in? Or is it time to omit this and let this go? Do I carry this in or do I release it? Okay. What's the situation? What's the situation? Yeah, when I'm talking about some of these zodiac signs, y'all, I'm not talking about your star sign. I'm talking about the energy in general of the planets and where they're placed, okay? You newbies. This is helping you take this fast, passionate action forward. Okay, so yes, where you felt blocked. Now, with that being said, we have some difficult transits that are going to be in effect up until like the end of November. Okay, so this is where some of this is playing out. So we're taking these next weeks, couple of months to do that, right? This is where we're judging things as they come up. And it may be a lot coming up, right? We're talking about decades of stuff with these cycles. These are big life cycles. Right? These are in our outer placements on your chart, planets and those sorts of things. Okay. So these are big things that it is that we're releasing. So it takes a little bit more time to pay attention to those details or to give it the time that it needs so that we can release it the way that we need to. All right. What about the challenges, Spirit? What are the challenges here for the collective? The Emperor, Temperance, and the Two of Wands. There are going to be some power, some power control issues here. There's going to be people to challenge your leadership position in your own life, right? So there's places in your life or there's certain people in your life who have had too much control. This is where you've learned to have boundaries with people, you know. And as you set these boundaries in motion, these people can't get away with the things that they used to get away with. And yes, it's going to ruffle feathers because you're standing on business in this new season. They don't know what that's like. They've never experienced that with you at this level, you know, and it is. So there's going to be some power struggles here. You're also going to see a lot of power struggles overall collectively worldwide, and you'll see that play out as we go through these transits. But on a more individual basis here, part of that is the challenge is other people are going to be challenging your authority and your leadership and how you show up in your own day-to-day life. Okay, we have Temperance here. So finding the balance in it all, right? That's something that it is that I've always said. It's important for us to find that balance between, you know, being humble, right? Being kind and also being lethal. So like I said, you're good people, you're not nice people. Nice people are people pleasers, they're liars, okay? So this is where you're honoring where it is that you're a good person, where you want to step up, where you want to lead, where you want to serve others. However, you're not a doormat, right? You're not a doormat. You're allowed to say no to people, places, and things that don't rate you pouring into it the way that you love to pour into things. in other people and being a service to others, okay? Give me one more. It was the Two of Wands, that's what it was. I had one, but it was 2 wands. I accidentally put it back in the deck because it still flipped over. This is how we're learning how to take charge. Okay, finding that balance, right? That's the challenge, is letting people know we're standing on business. We are the authority in our own life. We're in charge. We're calling the shots. It's our fate, it's our destiny, and that's what it is that we choose for it, not what anybody else has to say about it. Finding the balance between it all, right? Where we're extending ourselves to help others, and where it's not rated for certain people or places or ideals, you know. And then we have the Two of Wands here. This is what's helping you figure out how you're taking action. You know, there's a lot of observation going here. So maybe you can't quite see all the way out into the distance just yet. Let these transits go through. Stay grounded. Be patient with whatever it is that you're doing. Give it time to play out, and then you'll be able to see more clearly on how to take action, especially as we come into 2026, okay? All right, what's in the energy coming towards the collective? What's in the energy coming towards the collective? Hi, Hot Dog. How you doing, Hot Dog Galactic? Welcome. Hi, Pamela. Jane says, too true. Many not had faith in me, but I did it. That's the most important thing, y'all. You have got to be your biggest cheerleader. You know, we can't expect people to show up and cheer for us if we're not even cheering for ourselves, right? We set the tone of how people show up in our lives and how they treat us. So you have to be your number one fan, your biggest cheerleader. I don't care how cringe that is to other people, right? It's not their dream. It's not their fate. It's not their destiny. It's not their path. It's not their life. It's yours. Show up like your biggest cheerleader. You tell the haters to get to stepping. Maybe they need to take some notes, you know? You got to be confident in that. That's beautiful, Jane. I'm so proud of you. Hi, Pamela. How you doing, Pamela? Co-create only through love and abundance. That's right. We're co-creating with the universe, y'all. Always, constantly are we co-creating with the universe. Thoughts are energy. And the more that it is that we think, that's the vibration that it is that we're in. Absolutely. So, yeah, we are constantly co-creating. Peg Willis, new here reading cards. We're doing a little bit of it, all of it. It's channeled messages. I'm pulling cards on it. We're going to go over our astrological forecast and see what's going on with the planets and the star systems, that kind of stuff. What's going on with this eclipse, how it's affecting all of us. Don't believe in tarot cards or zodiac signs. This is not real. How is it not real, 4KZ? What are you talking about? That's like saying your eyeballs ain't real. What? Okay, y'all. Anyway, y'all see what I mean about like irritating people? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if it doesn't resonate with you, what makes you feel so irked, so bothered that you have to give your power up and make a comment on it, y'all? Like, you know what I mean? Don't make any sense. Nathaniel says, looks like you got it. Hey, look, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing it right. Ain't nobody hating on you. There's something wrong. I learned that the hard way. It just is what it is. It comes with the territory, right? I know, Isabel. I know. I found that's the hardest thing. What's the hardest thing for you, Pamela? Being your biggest cheerleader? That was hard for me too, y'all. If y'all go to my very first profile, _ the Lady Leo _ even if you scroll down at the bottom of my TikTok, you can see how much I've grown just in 3 years, 5 years. You know, ever since I started my journey, y'all, I was trembling. I was terrified of being on camera. You know, it took me a lot of hours of just pressing record and never posting anything to get used to talking. I felt like an idiot talking to myself. I felt uncomfortable talking about some of the stuff I was talking about because I was newer to it, but I felt called to talk about it. You know, it was a conundrum. It was confusing, but I stuck with it, and I feel more comfortable doing this than I would talking to people in person. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense. So anyway, just to tell you, I had to be my own biggest cheerleader. And yes, there's still a whole lot of hate. You know, me just being here, just talking about cards, y'all. It irritates the shit out of people. They want to project that I'm evil. I'm like, what are you talking about? I ain't evil. I'll be trying to heal people in the ways that I'm learning how to heal me. You know, I'm just passing along information. I'm just trying to empower people. Take your power back. Quit listening to that person over there. They're an idiot. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know who put them in charge, but they lead the wrong way. I noticed it. I'm aware of it. If I'm aware of it, I'm not going to continue to follow them into the hole, right? I'm going to go this way. You're sitting in your car charging your phone. You just did a 16-hour shift. Oh my gosh. Good for you, Roxanne. Keep going, mama. You got this. You rocking it out. Shining Star says, well, Josh and I have a relationship together. You want to get in line for a reading? And that's another thing, y'all. Like when it comes to the healing journey, right? That's what a healer is. A healer has the ability to heal themselves, and they empower others to do the same. Like even when you get Reiki sessions, even when you get energy work done, that's only just to support you in your own healing. You have to maintain that, right? It's got to come from self. No one can do the healing work for you. We can only aid, guide, and support others in their healing. It's kind of like I was telling my 10-year-old the other day. You know, she wanted her brother and her sister to come do her schoolwork for her, right? My kids are homeschooled. She's calling her brother and her sister over there to do her homeschool work. And I'm like, boo-boo, when you taking the ACT, your brother and your sister ain't gonna be sitting there doing the work, taking the test, baby. You gotta know the material. You have to do it. You gotta go through it. Yes, it's hard, but you're gonna get it. And you're gonna need this in the future. You gotta go through it. All right. I live. Ethan has no emotion. I'm wrong. Oh no. Yo, we're not talking about relationships and love in this live stream. You're so welcome, Roxanne. She must believe it's real or she wouldn't be here in your chat. Some people have negative energy. I know. They're in denial. They're just in denial. You just got to call it for what it is and move on, you know? It is what it is. Okay. Wrong deck. Energy coming towards the collective. Energy coming towards the collective. King of Cups, emotional maturity, being emotionally balanced. We talked about that, empathy and compassion for others. That's another thing we're learning too, y'all. You can have empathy for other people and still not allow them in your energy. Still not feel to rush in and save them from the shit that it is that they set up for themselves, right? It's okay to say no. I have empathy for you, but I'm also aware that you put yourself in that position and that is not my responsibility to save you from. Especially if you've been doing me wrong. Especially if you didn't have good intentions for me, right? That can be hard, especially for us empaths, us highly sensitives, us healers, or us light workers, light warriors, whatever label you want to put on it, shamans. Okay. And the Knight of Wands. Energy, passion, inspired action, adventure, fearless, and impulsiveness. Yes, it's okay to go after what your heart desires, okay? Especially if it's for your most loving, highest good. This is where you're taking charge, right? You dance to the beat of your own drum. And maybe it looks a little weird. That's how it was supposed to be. That's why you're rare. You weren't meant to be common. You weren't meant to conform, okay? Especially if you resonate with things like starseed. There ain't nothing normal about that shit. It's by design. You're not normal, and that's the beautiful thing. You are unique. You are rare. You are sacred in your own divine right. All right, what's the overall spiritual advice here, Spirit? What's the overall spiritual advice? Do we need sassy affirmations? Do we need to get bitchy up in here? We need to get sassy? That's the nice message here, Spirit. Overall spiritual advice. The Six of Swords, moving into calmer waters. More peace of mind. Peaceful seas ahead. Trucking right along. Got this transition, leaving behind towards our abundance. The Empress. All four elements in one. Balanced. Nurturing. Development. Accomplishments. Growth. The evolution, right? The evolution of what it is that you've been growing. What you've been cultivating. Okay? And then we have the Knight of Cups, and this is helping us express ourselves in healthier ways. Following our heart. Looking at the beauty of situations. Okay, oh no. We got to monitor in Spirit. Go on, bug. You ain't supposed to be in here. Go on. Spy somewhere else. That's helping us let go of a lot, okay? A lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, right? And this is where we're learning. There is no testimony with no test. This is where you're overcoming the test. You've passed. That's why you're getting rewarded with this in this new cycle, this abundance. That's what you got in alignment with. All right, y'all. Yeah, look at all the fire. I need peace. It's been emotionally hard lately. Give yourself permission to find that peace, you know? I had to do that earlier, y'all. Y'all know I'm going through I'm waiting on my divorce to finalize. You know, it's been absolutely horrendous. Devastating. You know, for the longest time, that's what I was looking for. Like, I kept trying to get this person to give me the closure that it was that I needed. The answers, all the questions, you know. And it wasn't until I realized that I gift myself closure. I'm never going to get what it is that I want or that I need from the other person. It's just never going to happen. It don't work like that. So I called my power back. I said, you know what? I'm going to give myself the closure that it is that I need. It ain't working. It ain't for me. Rejection is protection. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to move the fuck on. Right? Did a whole burning ceremony out there at the fire pit. Right? I burned all of it. Said a prayer, burned it, said another prayer. All right, Spirit, let's get some sassy affirmations for y'all before we move into this astrological forecast. Here we go. Here we go. You're going through I know a lot of us are going through it. A lot of us are going through it. Or have been through it. It's hard. Especially those of you, I'm not even saying like I'm not trying to take away the severity of other people's pain. Right, but those of you that have been in marriages for decades, right, you thought that you really believed this was your forever. It's devastating. It's my high school sweetheart, y'all. Spent 20 years with this person. All right, Spirit, best tonight's messages here. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? Sassy affirmations. All right, if you don't like being called a bitch, now it's time to exit out, scroll up, come back later, okay, boo-boo? Because it's about to get sassy. Listen, bitch, your worth is not tied to your productivity. You are not a machine. Your worth is not tied to your productivity, okay? You are all that on a bag of chips. You're not supposed to be a workhorse all the time. Okay? And listen, bitch, you're tougher than your toughest day. Yeah, you are. That's another thing that pisses people off about y'all. Is your resilience. The way that you persevere through hardships. You make it look easy. It's intimidating. They feel threatened by that. They don't understand it. Right? Listen, bitch, choose you every time. This is a big one we're learning, especially if you've been a people pleaser and you're learning how not to do that. Those of you that are starting to put yourself first. Choose you. We're not into the self-sacrificing stuff. That don't get us nothing nowhere but in a hole. A lot of us learned that the hard way multiple times, right? Choose you. You're worthy of being chosen. Give me some more, Spirit. Why not you? Why not you? Listen, bitch, everything you need to get it done is already inside of you. You are the it thing. You don't need anything externally. You don't need that other course. You don't need one more practice. You know, you don't need that person over there to make you whole. You are the it thing. You have everything that you need right there. Listen, bitch, you will get to where you want to go. You will get to where you want to be. It's fucking inevitable. If you don't give up and you keep putting one foot in front of the other, right? That's what we say here. One more breath, one more step, one more fight. It is inevitable. You're going to get there, right? Field of dreams. Build it and they will come. I can do it. I will do it. Join me, watch me, get the fuck up out of my way, homie, because I'm coming for it, right? I'm carving my own path and I'm building my own empire. One way or another. Come hell or high water. Oh, I'm seeing Gone with the Wind. I'll never go hungry again, right? You're staking a claim. You're making damn sure it's going to get there. Come hell or high water. It's fucking inevitable. You're going to get there. Just don't give up. Listen, bitch, you deserve rest. Seriously, take a break. That's what this eclipse is really asking us to do, is take a step back. As these things come up to surface, you know, we're taking a look at it. Is this in alignment? Is it time to release this? I'm going to sit here and deal with this. It's time for you to rest and rejuvenate. Okay? That's what the seasons are about, right? We're coming into winter. Okay? the winter solstice, right? It's the longest days of the year, or the shortest days of the year. It's the death and rebirth. And that's what you're doing. You're going to recharge. You're rejuvenating yourself for the rebirth part. You're trying to get yourself ready for Aries season as we move into spring from winter, when everything's dead and fallen and decayed and done, right? Releasing the things that no longer serve us. You're going to come into Aries season ready to take charge. Your battery is going to be fully 100%. You're going to be coming out the gate like a Russian racehorse. The Kentucky Derby. All right, Spirit, give me 2 more. Best and highest messages here for the collective. Best and highest messages here. Lesson, bitch. We're all imposters. Just own it. None of us are perfect. All right, all of us fall off the horse. All of us mess up, make mistakes. Okay, it's about owning it and just doing what needs to do to make it better. You know, we're not going to sit there and wallow in it for the rest of our lives. We're not shriveling up like raisins. Maybe we were victims of something at one point in time, but we're not owning the victimhood mentality for the rest of our days. We're going to get up, we're going to dust ourselves off, and eventually we're going to start putting one step in front of the other, and we're going to keep it moving. That's why you're going to get to wherever the fuck it is you're trying to go. It's inevitable. Give me one more. One more here. And listen, bitch, don't get so weighed down by your worries that you forget to live. Yes, all of us get under stress. We get too stressed sometimes, right? Don't get so bogged down by all the weight, by all the stress, by being worried or being a worrywart, that you forget to live your life, that you forget to celebrate the things that are going well, you know, to forget to be grateful for the bare bones of it all. You got air in your lungs, blood pumping through your veins, fire in your soul, and the opportunity to live to fight another day, right? Even if that's all it is that you got. Don't get so weighed down by it all that you forget to live your life, okay? Your life is worth living. You were worthy of good things. All right, y'all, if you were here for just the cards, for just the channeled messages, I hope that you found a message that resonates with you. Thank y'all for popping in and hanging out with me. If you're catching the replay on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the little gray notification bell, so I can see you again, boo-boo, and you know when I make more posts like this one, okay? Is it having me do this puzzle already? It's doing this early. Okay. All right, I'm still here. We're going to go over astrological energies. So this is going to be the eclipse and the major transits that it is that we're going through during this time, okay? So these are the key themes. Solar eclipse in Virgo, which is actually going to happen September 21st. So I was trying to get this done before that happened. I'm usually like right on it. So I was trying to do it a little bit earlier this time. So this eclipse is partial solar eclipse occurring at the sun's descending south node in Virgo. Okay, so those of you that don't know anything about charts, you're more than just your sun sign, your birthday. Zodiac. Okay, we're talking about your south node is past life energy. Okay, so it's what we're clinging on to that no longer serves us from the past, whether that's like a past life you reincarnated to or the past life cycle that you're coming out of. Put a word fits, don't make it fit, okay? So South Node in Virgo. Its energy is about shedding what doesn't serve in one's daily life, routines, habits, ways of working, self-expectations, unnecessary perfectionism. It's a time to clear out clutter, literal and psychological, and to refine what is truly essential. Because it's near the South Node, there's a strong release or relinquish old patterns flavor to it. Let go of what has felt draining, overly detailed, without purpose, or simply habitual. So those bad habits, those negative habits, or habits that aren't helping us achieve what it is that we're set out to do, right? That's where it is that we're looking at. We're like, look, we got into this habitual way that's not really serving us to our most loving and highest good, and we're going to omit it, and we're going to try putting in new systems, new habits, right? By the way, it takes 28 days to form a habit, so stuff don't happen overnight. You didn't form that habit that's not serving you overnight. So you're not going to rid it overnight either. You got to give yourself some time and be patient. Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces. So we just talked about this a little bit during the card reading. So on September 1st, Saturn retrograde back into Pisces, which it left earlier in the year. I think it was around July is when it was a retrograde, but it moved into Aquarius, and now it's back in Pisces. So this transit brings up karmic accountability in areas of spirituality, emotional boundaries, compassion versus escapism. There may be unresolved feelings, illusions, or dependency surfacing. Things we thought we were handled, but might still need deeper closure. So we're revisiting things here where we thought we had, we tied up loose ends, but maybe we didn't have all the loose ends tied up. So this is where we're going back and revisiting those things to make sure that we have all of those loose ends tied up. Okay, eclipse season. Surrounding transits. So we have earlier in September, there was a total lunar eclipse in Pisces, right? We already talked about the total lunar eclipse in Pisces, which has had a rippling effect. Revelations, emotional let go, and culmination. We saw that play out worldwide with a world leader, right? On mainstream media. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to put all that shit in my chat, okay? That doesn't belong here. It's inappropriate for this. But what I'm saying is, just to use it as an example, we saw it. We experienced it. The period between the lunar and solar eclipses is like an in-between zone. Endings are wrapping up, beginnings are on their way, but things are not yet settled. Use this time to sense what needs to shift and gather clarity. Okay, so this is where we're gathering clarity on where it is that we see needs to shift. Where do we need to make changes at? So some other planetary shifts are Mercury entering Virgo. This brings clarity. Okay, Mercury is ruled by Virgo. It's also ruled by Chiron, but, just speaking about Mercury, all right, that's communication. That's the paying attention to the details part of it. It's a movement, it's air energy. So this brings clarity, realistic assessment, attention to practical detail. Venus moves into Leo. Spikes in creativity, romance, desire to express one's heart, boldness in relationships. Yeah, we experienced Leo moving or Venus moving into Leo earlier. My Venus is actually in Leo. So I don't know if y'all know y'all's Venus placements, or you could check your 5th house as well. Okay. Mars moving into Libra, balancing assertiveness with diplomacy, getting work done via compromise, and relationship awareness. So yes, Mars moving into Libra, you got to think Mars is very action oriented. Okay. It's very amped up. It can be aggressive. It's very motivated, inspired action being taken. It can be, the assertiveness, right? And when you couple that with Libra, which is about the scales, is about balance, is about duality. This is where we are learning how to compromise with both of those, right? I was talking about that just a little while ago, right? Balancing the need to be in a humble space and being lethal, where we can show up and have compassion and empathy for others, but we're not a doormat, right? We'll nip it in the bud real quick. All right, so what to expect and how we're going to navigate this. Expect tension between wanting change, this eclipse energy, and resisting letting go of what feels safe or known is the Saturn in Pisces retrograde. Be gentle with yourself. Some of these shifts are internal and they're emotional. Avoid making big irreversible moves during the peak eclipse energy unless you feel extremely certain. So this is not where we're trying to manifest things. We don't manifest things during eclipse season, okay? Pay attention to what is showing up around daily routines, work, health, service, and efficiency. These are the sectors Virgo light tends to illuminate. Inner work, boundary work, clearing of old patterns, especially those involving guilt, people pleasing, thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation, overcommitment, and will serve long term. So yeah, we're not wanting to overcommit to things that we're not really interested in, right? Or you just feel bad, you feel obligated, no. That's taken away from what your focus needs to be on, okay? Whatever that person needs, they can find someone else who's better fit to do it. You're focused on this over here. We're clearing that out. We're having those boundaries in place so that we're not susceptible to overextending ourselves to someone who it's not in alignment with you, okay? All right, here's a brief for each sign, what this eclipse season in current transits are asking and how you can flow with them, okay? So we're going to start off with Aries. What's being activated for Aries? Releasing habits of overworking, overcommitting, expectations from others or of self that are. The best moves forward are to focus on structure, let go of perfectionism, simplify. What can you delegate, postpone, or drop? Taurus, relationship dynamics. What you've been giving versus what you receive maybe you may be getting clarity around that. The best move forward is to speak your truth kindly, reassess what you want in relationships, single or partnered, and be honest about it. So not just like romantic relationships. These are relationships and connections of all different kinds, okay? What are you willing to put up with? What is okay for you and what is not? Be honest. And then we have Gemini. What's being activated? Work, health, service, maybe a wake-up call around efficiency and your day-to-day habits or routines. How to flow with this energy. Begin small but purposeful adjustments. Your diet, pay attention to your diet, your sleep, and your workflows, and let go of unnecessary busyness. So unnecessary busy work, Gemini, okay? Cancers, how you're being activated. Creativity, romance, children, joy, and there may be something in these areas asking for more. How to go with the flow. Nurture your joy. Allow creative expression. Notice where old wounds and joy and pleasure still hover. Leo, how you're being activated. Home, family, security. What feels stable versus what feels like it needs renovation. Family, especially in family dynamics. How to go with the flow. Bring compassion and honesty to home relationships. Clean up what's been festering. Okay. Virgo, how you're being activated. Identity, launching new beginnings, self-care. This is your eclipse. It's important for you. This is how you're going to go with the flow. It's important for you to be clear on your values, release what's outmoded, and be gentle with the process. Libra, this is how you're being activated. Communication, thinking, mental load, and learning may feel heavy or in need of refinement. How to go with the flow. Listen more than speak initially. Revise how you communicate and drop mental clutter. Scorpio, this is how you're being activated. Resources, money, values. What you invest in materially or emotionally and what you value. Reevaluate spending investments, but also how you value yourself. Let go of feeling less than. Sagittarius, this is how you're being activated. Deep internal work, psychological or spiritual release. Maybe facing shadows or ancestral patterns. How to go with the flow. Embrace introspection, shadow work, therapy, journaling can be helpful, and release guilt, shame, and old ways of thinking. Capricorn, Capricorn, this is how you're being activated. Social life, friendships, networks, also hopes, dreams, long-term visions. Some friends or groups, social circles, okay? This is how you're going to go with the flow. Survey who lifts you versus who drains you. Let go of social obligations that are heavy. Invest in yourself. Aquarius, this is how you're being activated. Career, public role, reputation. The eclipse may bring change in mission or realization about what is in your life purpose. How you're going with the flow. Take stock. Does your professional path align with your deeper values? It might be time to shift roles. Pisces, this is how you're being activated. Inner life healing, letting go, rest. Transits with Saturn retrograding are here to ask you to be honest about what you're in alignment with, what you're wanting, and what you're going after. How you're going to go with the flow. Create quiet space. Dream, reflect, heal. Let go of guilt or shame from the past and practice forgiveness. All right. That wraps up our astrological forecast for this eclipse season and the transits that it is that we're currently going through. Okay, I hope that this brought insight to you. I hope it brought clarity. The most that I hope that you get out of it is it inspires you to dig into your own chart, so that it can help you learn more about you and how it affects you, So anybody have any questions about charts, natal charts and placements and things like that? By the way, we've got 2 people in line for personal readings. If you want to get a personal reading, it's a tarot reading, y'all. It's an intuitive energy reading. It's $11 for a mini, which is just a quick little express reading, okay? $22 for career, which is a little bit longer, and we're specifically focused on money, career, assets, investments, the coin. Love reading is 33. We're going to look at your energy, your person of interest energy, their thoughts, feelings, intentions for you, the challenge, the situation, and the spiritual advice on that. It's 44 for extended, and that's just a deep dive into whatever it is that we're looking at, boo-boo, okay? Again, CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, at ladyleospiritual. There's 2 people in line. If you're looking for private services, you can find those at ladyleospiritual.com. Not only do I have a whole different variety of, and I got my sale going, y'all. I forgot to announce that earlier today. I got a sale going on my private services. But I've got a whole different variety of intuitive tarot readings that you can get on there. I have hex and curse removal. So those of you that feel like you've been under heavy spiritual warfare, I'm going to help break that off of you. Okay, energy cleansings. If you just feel like there's just a lot of ick and a lot of blockages in your energy, I can help cleanse that from you. I have my money rituals that help unblock and help amplify the energy of being more prosperous, to help you gain abundance in whatever it is that you're trying to gain abundance in. I have distance Reiki healing, specifically Holy Fire Reiki right now. I do have my Egyptian Reiki, y'all, but I haven't used the Egyptian Reiki in a while. So I'm going through my course. I'm getting recertified in that. So I'll have that available soon. Probably before I have my master's in Holy Fire Reiki. But anyway, I've got distance Reiki sessions on there. What else? And natal charts. You can also get a natal chart on there. So if you want to know more about your placements, how it affects you, all that kind of stuff, you can get one of those on there as well. And then I have other decks and stuff, but we're not talking about that. If you're interested in getting the Lady Leo Love Messages deck or some of the other decks I've created that was inspired by my Instagram followers, actually, you can find those listed on there as well. So glad I caught you tonight. I've been in a funk and now better understanding why oh yeah, Charlene, I feel like a lot of us have been in a funk. And it's so good to see you pop in here. I definitely miss your presence. I miss all of y'all so very much. How can I do my charts? Okay, y'all. Let's talk about this for a second. Can you repeat prices? Want to send you through Cash App? It's at Lady Leo Spiritual, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. It's $11 for a mini, $22 for career, $33 for love, and $44 for extended. We currently have a mini and extended in line right now. It's 1:11 on the clock, y'all. Spirit's with us. 111. By the way, thank y'all so much for all the likes, the shares, the follows, the gifts, the comments, all the ways that you show love and support. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. Thank y'all for helping me raise the vibration. We got 16.2K likes in here. TikTok, thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. Hi, y'all. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about my chart for a second just to kind of give you all an idea of astrology and charts and how it can help you. Okay, so we were kind of talking about like south nodes earlier, right? What is that? Okay, so you have a sun sign, right, based on your birth date, especially in tropical. There's different types of astrology, so I'm talking about tropical Western astrology. Okay, so I'm actually a Leo sun. Okay, this is my soul core energy. My rising sign is Pisces. So that's the avatar. That's the uniform that I wear before I walk out the door is Pisces. Does that make sense? So your exterior traits can sometimes show up more like a rising sign than it does your sun sign. But you still have those traits of that zodiac in your personality and all those sorts of things. My moon sign is a Gemini. So that's how it is. My most intimate emotions expressed. It's my private self. Not everybody gets to see that. You know, it kind of stays behind closed doors. Okay, but those are emotions, how we express those. Okay, we were talking about south node. So my sun sign's in Leo. That's who I am in this life. Okay, my south node is in Leo. Okay, so in a past life, I was also Leo, right? My north node is in Aquarius. That's my destiny path. Okay, so my life lesson here is to not be so focused on self as Leo is. Leo is usually about self. It's the sun, you know, and it's more about the collective. Okay, which is exactly why I'm in alignment right here, and I get a luck and abundance in what it is that I'm doing. I'm in alignment with my north node. I'm helping the collective. I'm shining a light, my Leo, my sun, on the collective instead of just myself. Does that make sense? So there's that. So I carry a lot of Aquarian type of attributes because I'm in my north node right now, okay? You have other placements like your Mercury. Your Mercury is how you communicate. That's a personal planet. Your Venus is romance, is career. It's all the finer things. It's the luxuries that it is that you like in this life. Those types of interests and things. Let's see. Mars. Mars is how you go to war. It's how you take action. It's aggressive. It can also be part of your sexuality. Okay, that Mars energy. Let's see what's after Mars. Jupiter. Your Jupiter placement, okay? This is luck, expansion, it's wisdom, it's knowledge, those sorts of things. Let's see, Saturn. Saturn is very restrictive, okay? But it's where you're very disciplined in your chart. Sometimes we don't want to be disciplined in those areas. So if you know your chart and you kind of see, oh, that's why I have it so hard. That's why I face all these restrictions here all the time. So this is why I'm having, it seems like it's moving so slow. Or where red tape is where red tape don't need to be. Then maybe your Saturn placement, Let's see, Pluto. Pluto is this Neptune first. Okay, Neptune, Uranus. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back up. Uranus is how we rebel, okay? It's very rebellious. It's about evolution, revolution. It's shakeups. Okay, it can go things not according to plan. It's where miracles take place. It's those unexpected things that are very groundbreaking, right? Then it's Neptune. Neptune is the spirituality, okay? It's your religious or spiritual beliefs. It's dreamy. It's illusions, okay? It's like more like daydreamy type of energy. Mysteries fall under Neptune. Let's see, and then there's Pluto. This is just brief, y'all. I'm just giving y'all a quick idea of like how these things affect you in your placement and whatever planet that you have aligned with these placements. And then it's Pluto. Pluto is our deep psyche, okay? That's the subconscious. So if you know your Pluto and you're working with your Pluto energy, you may have a lot of shit surface that maybe you didn't want it to surface, So there's that. Could be things that are taboo. Neptune falls under that too, like occult things, occult knowledge, hidden things, mysteries, puzzles, illusions. Okay. So if y'all got any questions, you're Aquarius. My birthday's 11/22. What sign am I? Scorpio or Sagittarius? It's okay, Carl. You're actually more than likely you're a cusp. So a cusp has traits and energies of both. They're actually very rare. So, but it's a whole thing. So some of y'all are that too. Now, if you go to the original calendar, there's actually 13 months there, and there's Ophiuchus. So you may be Ophiuchus. If you could look at that and those traits, I bet you more than likely you'd resonate with a lot of the things that it says. Yeah, cusp is a whole nother thing, but it's quite fascinating. Another thing, y'all, not just to do with charts. Another thing that I found really fascinating is about, I've been studying numerology for about 10 years. Numerology, if you learn your life path number, if you learn your karmic number, all those sorts of things, it's incredible of how accurate it is and how you can use it to like better understand yourself. And the shadow traits that it is that you have, you can learn those shadows and the ins and outs of how it is that you work. It kind of gives you just a way to personify certain energies so you understand it better here in the human brain. I don't know if that makes sense. Leo and Venus, 3rd house and North Node. It's a lot of work. Your cusp, Miss Phoenix, I didn't know that. Aries, Pisces, life path number 3. I'm a life path number 6. We'll have to talk about numbers on another night. I just recently did a stream, I think, was it a month and a half ago? We were talking about numerology. We'll have to do another spiritual talk on another live stream about that one. What does the number 707 signify? Sevens can represent, well, one, if you see 2 7s, sometimes that can be a warning. But 7s are a very transformative number. Think 7 colors of the rainbow. There's 7 main chakra centers in the body. There's 7 days of the week. It can be a very spiritual, divine number as well. But typically it's transformation. It's a transformative number. It can mean luck too. Anytime I see 7s come out, I'm telling y'all got spiritual jackpot on the way if you're in alignment with it. You wonder what you are? We'll have to do a day. We'll have to do another live stream where we're doing life path numbers and I'll look them up for y'all. Maybe we can do that next week. Let me think. Y'all, I'm trying to put together my tarot course. I'm going to start teaching tarot over here on TikTok for the super fans. And I'm trying to get my schedule set up for that. So when I tell y'all that I'm going to be there, I'm actually going to be there. Because it's always, something's always coming up, y'all. There's never a dull moment here. Always something going on. I blame it on my Gemini. Oh, that was something else, y'all. If you when you get into astrology and you learn that there's different types of astrology, there's Western astrology, and then there's sidereal or Vedic. You know, I'm actually Gemini in Vedic astrology. So typically it would probably be your moon sign for most people if you're looking at Vedic astrology. And I think it depends on who's looking at it and who's interpreting the energies. But I know a lot of people will say that Vedic astrology is actually more accurate than Western astrology, but there's also a lot of other things that go into that. So I would always say to take it as it resonates. You know, just because this person over here said that that's what it is doesn't necessarily mean that that's for you, you know. So always do your own research. Y'all know y'all gonna hear me say that till I'm blue in the face. Go research it for yourself and then make a decision. Don't take somebody's word for it just because, you know. Then we're all just regurgitating shit and we don't know if it's right or not. That's how we get up in the messes in the first place. We just listen to that person over there because they're confident in what it is that they're saying, you know. We adopt it, we go with it, and then before you know it, you learn that you're just flat ass wrong. Like, what? It's because we didn't go do the research. We didn't double check it, you know. All right, y'all, that wraps up all of our stuff that we're supposed to do for collective. Like I said, I think tomorrow we're going to do a candle. I will let y'all know when we're going to do the numerology if y'all want to know about life path numbers. And I'll look up your life path numbers live right here. And we'll talk about it. But I got to open it up for personals. Is there a book you suggest for doing your own chart? There's lots of different books out there. I have lots of books on it. I never really, y'all, I have ADHD. I need a video. I need somebody to actually show me, you know, like I need to see it with my eyes so I can like draw it out, map it out and everything. So as far as books go, I don't have a really good recommendation, but like I would say YouTube. Start YouTubing it. Thank you to Twyla. Thank you for being here. You like my earrings? I'm glad y'all like my earrings. I made these earrings. I used to have them for sale. I know that y'all are asking about them all the time. I just haven't had the extra time to put forth doing earrings and stuff. I've been more focused on, you know, just collective energies and Reiki and channeled messages and stuff for the collective more than my own little hobbies that it is I do on the side. Explain how they can figure out their number. Okay, yeah. How can you figure out your life path number? You take your birth date. We're getting off topic here, Charlene, but I'll answer this question real quick. So you can take your birthday. So mine is 8/15/1990. Okay, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to break it down and add all the digits together. Okay, so you're going to break each digit down. And then you're going to add them together. Okay, and then mine makes a 6. Now, you want to bring it all the way down to a one number. Okay, so when you get to the end of adding all those digits up together, it may be 2 digits. Break that down. Add those 2 together until you get like a single digit. Does that make sense? And then there's one. You have life path numbers 1 through 9, and then you have master numbers, which are very rare. They're the rare life path numbers, and that's 11, 22, and 33. And it's pretty crazy. So I've got 4 kids. My oldest son is a life path 1. My oldest daughter is a life path 11. My youngest daughter is a life path 1, and my youngest son is a life path 11. That's pretty crazy. But life path 11 would also have the energy of life path number 2. So yeah, there's a whole thing that goes into it. But it's fascinating, y'all. And when you can learn about numerology, it's like, that's what they say too. Billionaires have astrologists and numerologists on their payroll. You know, that there's a reason why. There's a reason why they got astrologists and numerologists on their payroll. And a lot of times, they'll be the only, you know, that'll be their only client, that astrologist. Why would they need to go anywhere else? They're being taken care of. So yeah. But anyway, thank y'all so much for popping in and hanging out. Again, y'all know where to go for personal services. You can always check one of my other posts or my stories to find out how to get in line for live personal readings. We're about to get started on that. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go check on everybody. And then I'll get started for that. Okay. Y'all, give yourself some grace. Those of you that are hitting hardships, roadblocks, okay, restrictions, hard times, give yourself some grace. Be patient. Stay grounded. Okay. Try to shift your perspective and being that grateful space. Okay. Even if you have to take it down to the bare bones. Right. You're grateful for the air in your lungs, the blood pumping through your veins, the fire in your soul, and the opportunity to live to fight another day. You know, that's all that you have to hang on to, at least that. And that's gonna help you move and shift out of those blockages eventually, right? Eventually, what did it say? Listen, bitch, inevitably you're gonna get there if you don't give up, right? One more fight, one more breath, one more step, one more fight, okay? Y'all keep shining your light, shine it bright. Don't dim your light for nobody. I don't care what they told you over there. They're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. And they leading everybody wrong. That's why you in the hot seat now. That's why you in the leader seat and you're taking the reins back over your own life. Those people were leading your ass in the wrong direction. You got to be the leader of your own. You're the authority in your life. And that's what a lot of us are learning to do. We're kind of seeing that all this shit's propaganda and there's a bunch of facades out there. It's a bunch of illusions. Ain't none of it real. And whoever put them people in position, I don't know what the hell I don't know why they put some of these people in the seats that they have. They don't know what they're talking about. It's the blind leading the blind out there. So shine your light, okay? Don't dim it for nobody. And if your light ain't irritate nobody's demons, y'all ain't doing it right. Turn up the heat. Bond their eyes out, collective. I'll see y'all in a few minutes. I love you, I love you, I love you. Until next time, love and light.